Hello and welcome to the B Button episode 20. Yes, I'm your host Baron Marf, and I'm joined as always by my compadre in arms, the one, the only, Angry Link.
I suppose I should follow up with a bit more of a follow-up.
Good effort. I always use the yin to my yang in these podcasts.
Yeah.
Let's do my yang out of this. Alright, okay.
On that note, we should...
Let's talk about gaming instead. Yeah, why not? So, what have you been hitting this week?
Not a great deal, really. Just a bit of GTA. Again, some new cars.
Yeah, lots
more
of new
money
cars.
To spend that I haven't got.
Loads of cash. What caught your interest? What was it?
Well, still all of the stuff from the original stunt update. And then obviously you've got the F-Type now, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
The Lynx, and also the Mamba, is it?
No. Tampa Drift.
Yeah, that's just insane, that car. That is hilarious. But again, it's just GTA, and it's just saying, come on, you can't be bothered to do all that shit to get all that money. Just
buy some.
Yeah.
So
standing firm.
Yeah. What about been doing any deliveries? Getting those deliveries done?
No.
Getting those crates in those warehouses?
Not really. Just been sort of doing some of the CEO missions because it's getting the old chopper and fly around a bit and shoot some people. And
get your chopper out in public. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else other than GTA?
Not really. Just I haven't really even been playing phones on my phone games. No.
Damn, man.
So it's been just too hot and stuffy for me. I just can't be bothered.
Weather has been absolutely manic in the UK. I mean, just like hot, manic weather. I don't know if you can have manic weather, but we had it.
It's just unbearable for me.
Yeah.
I really don't deal well with the heat. But, it's one of those you've got to get on with it.
So, for those who don't know, Link is an avid tea drinker, and it got so hot that you weren't even drinking tea. Damn.
Yeah, that's at work. It's a pain in the ass. The
Craziness.
air conditioning's on the fritz, so it does suck ball.
Suck balls. Well, gaming wise, I've been hitting up a bit of GTA 5 as well this week. As you say, Tampa Drift all the way, just living the dream. 8% full on a 111 block warehouse, so really just want to push that through to a full warehouse and then flog it. It's worth about 1.6 million at the moment. It's huge.
Yeah.
But it worries me because I've got a massive disconnect between how much I've spent to get it there to what the reward is.
Well, it's one of those you can work it out. You obviously you've been doing the trio triple deliveries or.
Yeah, I know you should do the single ones, but to fill up to do 111 deliveries.
Yeah. Totally.
So yeah. Probably been paying exorbitant amounts, but so be it. Force Unleashed, still chipping away at this game.
Yeah,
just chipping away.
You've still got the bug with that.
Yeah, I'm on the first one still. It's like I play little half an hour blocks of it. Go in, hammer some Ewoks or something.
Get the old Jedi fixation done with.
Yeah, exactly. Just basically being complete. When you become powerful with the Force, everybody knows you just become a hideous human being. I don't care what anybody says. There is no light side of the Force. If you have the ability to pick people up and throw them around like dolls as soon as you don't like them, danger zone.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. One thing I did notice, I haven't been playing any Red Dead Redemption. I thought I'd be all up in that, wearing it like a Muppet.
Yeah. I did play, came through a bit of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get really that far. I got to the Irishman. I think that was pretty much it when that starts. And I haven't really played it much. But again, I haven't really played much at all this week. I did try the free games out.
Oh yeah?
That puzzle game, that's not too bad.
Yeah, feeling that?
Yeah, it could be worth it. It's free. So.
What about Tron? Do you try Tron 360?
No, I haven't actually tried that one yet.
Yeah, it's
I heard it was as forgettable as Legacy.
Yeah, no.
But hopefully there's at least some good music in it, like Legacy.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Give some Daft Punk. Cool. Right, let's bust on over to the news section.
Yeah.
Let's do this. baby, yeah! Here we are yet again, Link. And to bust straight into our news, what is our first bullet hole of the week?
Well, we was talking about it last week, and we've seen some new details and a new trailer from the new Sonic.
Okay.
Obviously, it's Sonic Mania. Yeah.
So, is this like, another 3D piece of shit game?
No, I'm actually quite excited, because having read up on it a bit, it looks, obviously, it's an old school Sonic, which, to be fair, is where it got its best.
So, to be specific, when you say old school, we're talking what, Sonic 1, 2, 3, that sort of era?
Sonic CD.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's being helmed or developed by Headcanon Games and Pagoda West Games.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea who they are.
Well, Headcanon, I didn't see anything, but Pagoda West, they did a game called Major Magnet.
Right, okay.
And when you look at it, it seems it's very sort of Sonic inspired. It involves you having to get through levels by
collecting rings.
Well, no, you've got, obviously you're connected to a magnet, and obviously you've got the metal points which you can then spin round.
Right, I remember this game. Yeah, okay,
yeah. So they're part of the developers, but it's also a guy called Christian Whitehead. He's a Sonic fan creator, and he's ported loads of the games to like Android and Xbox Live.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Sonic CD ended up there. So yeah, it looks, it could be very interesting.
So I understand this. They've reimagined some classic levels. So the things that you kind of know as the boss, or the layout of the level, or even simple things like instead of a bounce, it's a teleport or something like that. So they've mixed it up a bit. So this is for the people who've played the old school Sonics and missed that and want to play that again, but want something different.
Yeah. Well, I think this is where you've got the development team from Headcanon, and then obviously Pagoda, where they can obviously try something different, and it's get hopefully some really good gameplay mixing going. Well,
I saw a trailer for it. Looked pretty good. Even like the fact that on the title screen, Sonic does a little animated spin now before he starts shaking his finger at you.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks interesting. We were bitching and moaning about Sonic last week, saying, what a fucking pig, you've just destroyed gaming and you've destroyed that IP, let it go.
Yeah.
And now they've kind of gone, well, actually, to be fair, we recognise that you just want the old Sonic, so here it is. And looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. So, busting over to our second bullet hole for this week, it's Dead Rising's getting some remasters. Specifically, Dead Rising will be hitting PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4, or actually will be doing so at the same time as the other games. But Dead Rising 2 off the record, also Xbox, PlayStation 4, already on the PC. Whole bundle being released September 13th, apparently. And what surprised me was the bundle size being quite small, it seemed.
Well, don't forget they were all
gig.
They weren't massive games. It's just obviously a lot of processing power went into driving them.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I think it's solid. Have we got a price point?
No price point yet. Nothing specific. Probably, it was sort of leaked and then quickly hidden back up again. But let's be honest. I played these games again. I love these games.
I never really played them fully. I played a little bit of 1, a little bit of 2.
They're worth getting stuck into.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Without a doubt. For me, this is... Will I go and get it? If I don't own a digital copy, maybe I will. Obviously they're doing this whole, hey, we've announced a new Dead Rising, so let's remaster the old ones and sell those in between to keep your interest up whilst you wait for the new one to come out. And I quite like that strategy, actually, because if I want to play it, I will do, and if I don't, then I won't. But I like to revisit these sort of games, so I quite like a remaster.
Well, it's good, obviously, as well, because they're reintroducing Frank West into Dead Rising 4, aren't they? So it's good to get him back in.
This zombie Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Cool. So moving on to our third bullet hole for this week, it's a beloved game of yours, Link.
Yeah, No Man's Sky. We've seen some new trailers. Obviously, we've got the 4 pillars of videos. So obviously you could trade in combat, explore, I can't remember the fourth one now. I should have written it down.
There's some
Fight. Oh, that's gone back.
There's some really noticeable difference between the trailers that they've shown, like landscape-wise. You can see them making a cognitive effort to make sure that it actually.
But they've
it's a different world. It's yeah.
They found some good ones. Yeah, I mean it's looking really exciting. I can't wait to see how much the community grows up around it. So I think that's gonna be its main. I mean, if it can get something like EVE Online, in terms of the
headcount numbers, yeah.
Yeah, the headcount numbers, but just the sheer sort of drive of it.
Yeah.
Then they're laughing.
I mean, so we noted recently that they went gold. So the stress and strain of like getting the thing written is done now. It's just the production, release, marketing machine which goes with it. So
which obviously where the video
excuse me.
From.
Yeah, so we can relax a little bit about that. But there was some distressing news this week from.
Yeah, well, obviously the fancy math surrounding No Man's Sky is causing a few, some patent disputes.
So what is this? This is the algorithm or formula which creates their universe?
It's obviously, Sean Murray did an interview with the New Yorker, and obviously he's describing how they've done this, and to create and write all of this code individually would be massive cost, like Star Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whereas he's then had a look around, because Sean Murray loves his math. Math is a brilliant thing that solves many problems. And he's found a formula by the name that was created by a genetic plant geneticist.
Okay.
A Belgian plant geneticist.
Right, okay.
Yeah, sorry. This guy called Johan Gillis he published an equation back in 2003 that described how a large number of natural forms occur.
Right, okay.
And he's called this the super formula.
So they've rinsed this then?
Yeah, so obviously fast forwards to now, and the Dutch research company Genicap, which was obviously founded by this Belgian dude.
Obviously.
Obviously they've claimed they haven't obviously licensed the formula, which he's got patents. Well, he's not patented the formula as such, but he's patented it in the use of.
So basically, the people who came up with this formula, this super formula, have said, "Hold it, wait! You can't use that for No Man's Sky. I didn't license that to you."
Yeah, basically,
they've
not sort of turned around and said, "You can't release this, blah blah blah. We're going to take you to court," and all that. We'll give you an opportunity
to pay me some money.
Yeah.
What a lovely guy I am.
But that's the nature of the beast, though, isn't it? I mean, it's when you see how it's driven, because obviously going back to this interview that he did, Sean Murray did with the New Yorker magazine, he was again just putting in this formula and applying it to this plane with this just basic shape, and it was creating, like you say, natural looking shapes. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's an integral part of how obviously this game runs and works. So
sounds like it.
Oh dear! I mean, it's one of those. I think potentially this company, because the interview was done back in 2015,
mm-hmm.
so they would have had a lot of opportunity
to look into this sort of shit.
Yeah, I think it's almost.
So I mean, what's the release date for No Man's Sky? Do we know this?
It's August.
So
it's just around the corner.
They're not going to stop this thing. Now it's just about how much change they're going to get out of it.
Exactly.
Oh dear, No Man's Sky.
But
as
long as they can sit down at the table and just, as long as it's not too much of a ball ache, because I think Sony will go, okay, there's your license fee.
I hope everybody plays nice.
Yeah, it could cause some problems.
Cool. Okay, so that's wrapping up the news section. Let's shift on over to our What's the Beef, Chief.
Yes. Yeah, get that over with and get that out of the way.
Yeah. Get that vented frustration out the way. Cool, let's go. vexing. Rattiness. This is What's the Beef, Chief? It's where we get our beef and slap that meat. And what are we vexing and ratty about this week, Link?
It's this constant argument, this back and forth with video game violence and how it affects people and children and... I mean, it's got to the point now, like, you know, when all children face that parent one day and they just turn around to them with that disappointed face and say, I'm not angry anymore, I'm just disappointed.
I'm just disappointed. That's how you feel, yeah.
It's just one of those, just close the book.
So what's happened?
Again, the American Academy of Pediatrics have released a new set of guidelines.
Right.
The lead author, Dr. Dimitri Christakis, a paediatrician. Sorry, you've always got to be careful when it starts with ped.
Yeah.
He's based in Seattle at Research Institute.
Okay.
And obviously he's come out with these new guidelines and saying it's got an adverse link and obviously then you had this dude back in March this year from Oxford, Dr. Andy Vigilibsky. I couldn't read that word, that name. But he's got a study that showed that there's no real correlation between the violence, but how much time. Yeah. And it's one of those. It's just back and forth. I think it's a case of just parents need to be a bit more savvy.
I mean, let's be honest. So what's happening in these situations is people are doing a report on a particular theorem about a particular part of gaming.
Yeah.
And then correlate that to a way of acting. Now, if you, as a young child, get Batman on a video game and you're really young and you play it, you're going to be out in your garden trying to fire zip lines at trees and trying to put a cape on and trying to throw batarangs. Yeah. You're going to do it. That's the nature of the beast. But that's the nature of the character Batman and the ability of video games to translate that experience to something that you can relate, you can enjoy and partake in. That's what's happening there. That's not necessarily the fact that video games makes you violent makes you act in a particular way.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I hate these studies because it's like you're taking 100 or 150, 2,000, however many children, and seeing a lot of them are quite strict in the saying they're stringent, but they don't take account into personality and the varying factors that make that make up a person's personality and their sort of psyche.
Yeah, so what was childhood like with their parents? How much time they spend with their family? How much?
Are they an only child? Have they got brothers or sisters?
Do they do sport and athletic things? There's so many contributing factors. I mean, I would like to do a little report on what effect does things such as video games have effect on people wanting to buy property. Why not? Let's have something fucking random. I mean, I buy property in video games, yeah, and we're led to believe we should buy property in life. Yeah. So there's quite a direct correlation. Everybody I know who plays video games at some point believes they need to either rent or buy a property. So, is that a reasonable argument? Can we sit there and say video games encourage people to do that? I was driving on GTA and got a text and crashed and thought, that's dangerous. Where's the report of showing that, lessons learned from video games?
Yeah. Well, there is one study that released last week, and it did actually show people that were playing high twitch sort of racing games like Mario Kart, where you have got dodge and stuff. Actually their hand coordination become better.
Yeah, of course, man. That's a natural reaction.
I mean, there is a lot of positive studies that go into video games. Some guy, he was on the M5, his BMW, and decided it was going to give it a bit... It hit, obviously, a little patch that it didn't want to get traction on and started spinning out. And it was just, you see him, it's just like a nice... across 3 lanes, but he... and then kept it back in. Yeah, and he said he was playing
video games.
Yeah, he knew how to turn into the steer.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
slide.
Well, I don't think people appreciate when a report like this or some new information like this comes out, what the effect is. I mean, there's a direct correlation to this sort of stuff in the media and then games having to implement stupid things. Like, for example, let's be honest, would your life been in any way, your personality, your psyche, your sense of humour, your taste, have been affected if you played South Park: The Stick of Truth and they kept in the anal probing scenes?
Because I still went and watched what I didn't get to see.
Yeah, exactly. You still go on the internet, you still find the video, and you still watch it because you want to know what happens. And it hasn't changed me as a person.
No.
For me, what annoys me with this sort of stuff is when you look at gaming and you say this has a direct relation to that. What about all the games which, I don't know, are educational? You know, the ones which are actually aimed at children of that age?
Yes. Well, this is the thing. It comes down to a lot of it is the parents. Like you say, this study that was done at Oxford, it showed that how children played, like whether they were alone or online with friends, had more of an influence on. Obviously, they looked at how they were doing at school and how they interacted and how they approached different situations, and they found that kids that played along on their own more had more difficulty dealing with situations, again, of unpopular kids and that kind of sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's always been the case.
It's social dynamics. It's
Exactly.
learning how to interact with others.
I mean,
you either practice it or you don't.
Every few years, I mean, you hear of people going nuts or doing something extreme, and then
going into a cinema with a carbine assault rifle or something stupid like that.
I mean,
straight away everybody goes, he played GTA and Call of Duty. He was training himself to be a killer.
And that's the thing. I mean, it really bugs me that if you've got a control. I mean, how many people are playing it? How many concurrent players are playing it at a time? And how many of them then go out and...
But the thing is people, you know, yeah, exactly. How many people play the video games and get on and live a normal life? There's no reports on that, you know. And equally, I would say, we're sitting there saying, because a human had an interaction with a particular type of media, they became this person. Well, I personally would say, where's the time and energy put into the people themselves? I mean, we want our children to be able to use the roads, but we don't just push them into the middle of it and say, work it out for yourself. We spend time with them and we
teach them what's right, how it all works.
So if you sit there and put a copy of Call of Duty in a 5-year-old's hands and give them a controller and walk out of the room and watch them blow people away, then they're not going to know how to deal with that. But that's the parents' responsibility. Yeah.
Well, they're going to be opened up to a world of toxicity at such an early age that they're going to create themselves a bigger barrier.
I mean, we don't see any age grouping in sort of gaming networks. So, for example, you can't go into the over 18s section. There's nothing like that. It's just one big pool of the general public.
Well, my biggest problem with GTA is staying in the open lobbies and the open radio channels. Well, it slows the game down like a bitch. Pig. It's just the annoying douchebags. I used to hate it on Call of Duty. Just
want to play their music to you. They want to play the new Slim Shady album. That's what they want to do.
It's just, I mean, that's the thing. I think more parents need to sit down with their kids whilst they play. I mean, it's just irresponsible parenting a lot of the times. I mean, the amount of times I've seen in shops when I've been buying a game, and there's something. I remember Red Dead Redemption when that came out. I went to go and get it, and I watched a mother pick up the game, go to the counter, and then as the guy's putting it through, she turns to her little 7-year-old kid. That's the one you want. He's like, yep. So again, I mean, that I would say it's irresponsible on the shop's behalf.
Shop shouldn't have sold it. Parent shouldn't have bought it.
But again, it's so many things that contribute to these incidents that you can't just pin it on video games, because for as long as I can remember, there's always been some form of media that's been blamed because some irresponsible people, some mentally unstable people have gone and done something horrendous.
But that's exactly it, isn't it? This is, gaming is a media format. It's not a all capturing one game does one thing, therefore it affects everybody. If people sit there and, from the moment they are able to purchase media to the point where they're able to purchase weapons, spend their whole life polishing and shining guns and dreaming about shooting people in the face, they're going to play a game which lets them do it, and they're going to watch movies which reflect that, and they're going to listen to music which supports that mentality and makes them feel that way. That's how it works. Now, do these things enhance and probably make them more likely to act in this way? Maybe.
I can't remember where I saw it, but I heard a quote, films and games don't make people more violent, they just make them more creative.
Dear oh dear.
But
it doesn't come
from
games, yeah.
The thing is throughout, since films have been about, all of this stuff's, do you remember when they said rock and roll was going to destroy the world? I mean, it's people get themselves worked up about something because some dickhead ruins it for the rest of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is why we've got laws.
So, final thoughts, Link, on the beef?
They just need to chill the fuck out.
Calm the fuck down, man.
Just sit down with your kids. If your kid's a violent little douchebag, perhaps he's just a stupid little douchebag, and you need to give him a backhand. Hitting kids works wonders.
Right. Just
good
to be
old
clear,
GTA reference.
Just to be clear, yeah, that's a GTA reference. That's not we're not encouraging you to hit children. Please don't do that. Cool. Okay. For me,
not other people, just your own.
Okay. I'm still not touching this with a barge pole. For me, it's really, really simple. Video games, if you give GTA to a 5-year-old and they're going to have a fully automatic shotgun, it may affect how they grow up. But
here's a good point. If you're going to let kids play first-person shooters and then leave real guns about,
well, no,
maybe not try that.
Let's be honest. If you don't want your children to be thinking about guns, don't give them bits of media which have guns involved. Yeah. It's that simple. If you don't want them thinking about knives, the same. If you don't want them to be smokers, don't smoke around them. It's really not complicated stuff. And to come out with a report saying there's a direct correlation because I know you play Pokemon and your Pikachu bounces into the other character to knock them back. Guess what? Life is full of confrontation. That's going to happen whether you like it or not. And it's what tools you use to deal with those confrontations. Hopefully gaming can help you with that.
I think it's a case of there just needs to be a bit more, like you say, is it a case of society needs to pick up its coattails and get on with it, or roll its sleeves up and try and help some of these people that are they're failing.
But
that's a
whole other thing. Cool. Okay, so let's wrap up this beef and shift on over to our uncharted territory. Dickheads and their media machines. Anyway, enough of the beef. And on to more relaxing and chilled out location of our gaming podcast, which is our uncharted territory, where we meander our way through random subjects. And this week we thought it was appropriate to sort of think a little bit about the dry spell which is coming up. As always at this time of year, around August, there's not a lot of games which are released. And we wondered kind of what our summer gaming projects were.
Well, I've only really got one massive one. It's going to take some time, but GTA Online, I've got to upgrade some shit. Like warehouses and get some cars.
So where are you at the moment? What's the status quo right now?
Not good enough. I need to get some bank.
Have you got a warehouse?
Yeah, I've got a couple of warehouses. I need to get them filled and start building towards a bigger one.
Cool.
So if I can get those two filled, so I've got the two small ones.
Yeah.
But I just need to obviously get the other 3 to fill out the 5, and then upgrade those ones.
So is this just for the purpose of making more money, or is it just like a gaming target you want to do?
Well, it's GTA in it, so you don't have to worry about having to get that shit again.
Mm-hmm.
Get it over and done with, and you can worry about keeping stuff stored in there. And there's sort of like say 2 mil that I can just quickly cash in.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I want some cars as well. Again, I think it's a case of you can either make it a really long, arduous task, or just cheat and buy some shark cards.
So I mean, what cars? I mean, there is a plethora of great cars out there, and you and I earlier on were talking about. So I'm a bit of a, I need that car sort of guy. So I dabbled in a shark card or two in my time, but generally, I'm starting to distill my garages now to stuff that I really want to keep because I really love that vehicle. So what is your goals? What are you aiming at getting car wise? What's the one where you're I need that car in my life?
Well, it's this new stunt set. I mean the Lynx. It's the F-Type. We're not joking. And it's a gorgeous looking car. It's good fun to drive. The Tampa. That was just insane.
That is a drift beast.
That's going to make some great videos.
Yeah. Well, do you know the Audi Quattro, the Ominous or whatever it is? That's a good car. It's really enjoyable.
I want both of them because I love the rally cars.
The Lancia, I should say. Stratos, which is the Torso or something
like that.
Torso.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to get, and it's going to take some time, especially filling the warehouses.
So you're going to hunker down on GTA?
Well, that's I think the most realistic one to get through. Because I think it's the game that I've constantly gone back to. I might actually maybe play The Witcher 3 and finish it.
Right, that's on my list actually.
I'll probably start that again because I don't think I got very far through it. Just plough through the story and then worry about mopping up the side quest, I think.
Yeah.
I might just cheat and go and have a look at walkthrough and see how much hassle it's going to be.
So just to be clear, so The Witcher 3 is on my list. Now I've completed The Witcher 3 storyline, but I haven't gone back for the DLCs yet.
Oh, of course, yeah, you got Blood and Wine.
And I've also got the side quests to complete. I've done a lot of them, but I've still got more to do. And I'd like to go on the record say that game is fucking massive. It's huge. And when you say, I might just have a little look, the video just to have a little look will probably be equal to most normal gaming experiences.
Yeah.
So good luck to you, sir. Good luck. I mean, I was just thinking about going back to clear it up a little bit, but...
yeah, that's what I mean. I was thinking that one's a maybe.
So one of my maybes is Fallout 4 in the same way, which is I might go back and play that through, and then obviously it's a mammoth task. It's a huge undertaking, but it's definitely one that I could do. I want to do it. I never gave it the time when it was released.
I've still got a code for Fallout 3 that my mate gave me that I still don't actually put on my Xbox because I never finished that. Either I had that on my PlayStation and then it died, and I never went back to it.
Damn. So I was looking through my library just trying to think of some other random ones. For me, I'm going to go back to Dishonored and the DLC.
Well, you've got the new one coming out soon, haven't you?
Yeah, so that little pre-warm-up we mentioned earlier on, that's I'm going to definitely hit that back. Because I never went back to do the DLC where it's about the murderer, and how he...
Oh, right.
Yeah, cool. So that would be pretty cool. And also, one of the games I did pick up, which I started playing, got into the first level, really like the feel of it, for a basic, real, old-school sort of platformer, Ratchet & Clank, the remake that they did recently.
Oh, PS4.
Yeah, want to go back to that. Because I've been hitting up Uncharted 4. I said I was going to do it.
Yeah.
I've gone back to that, and I'm now replaying the storyline a lot better. Now I'm giving it a lot more focus second time through.
Yeah.
So that's well worth it for me.
No, well, I think that's the one I want to get though. The project that I want to start is No Man's Sky. Obviously, it's one, get a PlayStation 4, actually pony up the cash.
Yeah.
And hopefully if it does release and the super formula patent shit goes away.
Well, even if it does, let's be honest, Sony alone would stump up server costs to keep that thing going because it's going to be a money machine just based on the size of media that it's had around it.
Yeah, I think it should be. It's gaining a lot of hype.
So let me float some other options into the pool of thought, little blips of ideas. Would you be going back to Destiny over the summer?
Do you know what? It might be a case of I might be drawn back by the Rise of Iron.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one of those, I wouldn't mind if it was something like 20 quid, play it for another few months, and then be done with it again.
Yeah. I mean, I was also wondering whether I was going to be going back to the Division as well.
I'm lost. That's me done. I'm out.
Timed out on that a little bit. I thought it wouldn't have that effect on me, but I seem to have walked away and not gone back to it recently. I don't know why.
I think it's one of these sort of games that, on paper, it sounds amazing, and then it gets introduced to humanity.
And look what you've done with it.
And then you get people that exploit shit and find it and it ruins it, and then they have to fix that to stop people ruining the game and breaking the game and how it should work, and sloppiness from certain aspects. And I just think, but for me,
nah, not going to happen.
No, it went back to that whole thing of, it was the disconnect between it, like something like Destiny, where you can quite easily believe that you've got this hulking great Crota motherfucker that's going to take 4 of these fucking Galahorn rockets and still come back at you and give you a slap.
You really can't deal with the fact that humans sit there soak up bullets.
No, but it's okay because he's got some padded armour on.
Yeah, but you know, I always just look at that stuff and I just go, it's a video game.
I know.
It's a video game. But what can I do? But I mean, some other game stuff, I figured I might even entertain a bit of Mario Kart 200cc. I never owned it, never even got close to owning it. In fact, I don't even think I completely maxed out the 350.
No, 150.
Sorry, the 150. So,
but again, Mario Kart's always a classic to go back to, isn't it?
Yeah, so I got to hear a bit of that, which also led me to think, with the crew, having the crew now, and I did pick up the 2 season passes, the Wild Hunt and the season pass. So I want to get stuck into that, but I'm just waiting for that sweet spot when I go, right, I've done Force Unleashed 1 and 2, and that I think is going to be the big one for my summer drop, the crew.
Yeah, that is a big game. It's very much got that smack of, it's an Ubisoft game, so expect lots of collectibles.
Right, okay. So, I mean, Horizon 2 was quite tempting because there's a lot of sales on the Horizon 2 stuff.
Horizon 2 is brilliant. I would definitely...
But Horizon 3 is coming out soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, why go Horizon 2?
Because there's some really great cars in it and it's some good fun. It's just a better racing game for me, a better driving game. It is all about racing.
But if you had your cash in your hand, would you go Horizon 2? Would you go Horizon 3? Would you hold fire?
Well, if it was cheap enough, I'd go Horizon 2. If you're desperate for a game like that, then yeah, definitely every day.
Damn.
But no, like you say, September, so you've got a couple of months. If you haven't got a game to play for the summer, and it's a good summer fun kind of game because it's all based around festivals.
Fun. Nice.
Don't you bring that shit here. Do you not sully this anymore. With me, what do you do?
God, that was a dreadful movie. What about Diablo 3?
Yeah, that's one. That's one that you've got to commit some hours to, really, isn't it?
What I like about Diablo 3 is it progresses in a good way. So it starts off by just levels on weapons, then it goes to like, right, okay, I want to, like, I don't know, put a gem in there, then it's maxing the gems out.
It gives you a chance to pick everything up as you go along.
Yeah.
And so even if you've only got a basic grasp of stuff, you'll still get by.
Yeah, it's a great game, really great game. I'm looking forward to chucking a bit of time at that.
Yeah.
Cool. So all in all, you know what? I've got a feeling, that's another song by the way, that it's going to be a pretty dry summer.
Well, again, you got No Man's Sky next month in a few weeks. Well, a couple of weeks really. So I don't know. There's still some games coming out. I think it's a case of, especially now with the indie scene being so prevalent, there's just generally a complete chock-a-block list of games.
Yeah, there seems to be plenty of stuff coming out, but there doesn't necessarily seem to be a lot of stuff that makes me go, "Oh, I'll get that."
But there's no real big AAA, is there? Again, this is the thing where the old firm stick to their Christmas schedules, really.
Yeah, danger zone.
But yeah, obviously it's a big autumn.
Yeah, big, dry, desolate autumn.
Yes, but no, there's a lot of
pre-autumn. I know what you mean,
yeah.
but pre-autumn. Damn.
That's summer.
Yeah, thank you. Seasonal argument 101. Yeah.
No, so there's always that inevitable sort of patch.
But it's like just now between September's always a pig, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's just like, right, time to hit the backlog and yeah.
But that's the thing with all of the, unless you've got hours and hours that you commit to your game in, or you're just really good at it, so it doesn't take you that long. With all of the free games that you get, I mean, it's hilarious how much like backlog there is. I mean, I went and got a new hard drive so I can actually put some of the games that I've got free and some of the games that I own, or all of the games that I own, and like I'm still.
The library does become ridiculous, doesn't it?
It's hilarious.
It's great though. It's good.
Yeah,
we love
especially as more of the backwards compatibility comes in.
Loving that. Loving it. Cool. So, Link, final thoughts on summer of gaming. What is it really just GTA's the goal?
No, I think No Man's Sky is the goal, really. I need to get that up and running.
Damn, serious.
I need to have that game.
He needs it in his life.
Yeah, because I like the idea of a survival game where there's not many people.
Yeah, for me it's going to be all about once I get Uncharted 4 done and getting these Force Unleashed games hammered, I'm going to take on a big title, I think, and I think it's going to be The Crew. That's what I think I'm at.
Well, I can join you on that one.
Cool. Okay, so there we are, folks. Episode 20 all wrapped up. And, man, it's feeling good. Knocking them out. So, from the Angry Link, it's...
Goodbye and adios.
And from the Baron, it's... Goodbye for now.